In the Chinese city of Xi'an, people have been taking to social media to complain they've run out of food because of a major lockdown. Authorities say, however, that volunteers are now delivering supplies to people's homes, and just one family member per household is allowed to go out to buy groceries otherwise, and not more than once every 3 days. China has adopted a zero-tolerance policy towards COVID-19 infections, which could be a challenge when it hosts the Winter Olympics in February. And correspondent Fabian Kretschmer joins us now from Beijing for more. Fabian, many of the 13 million people living in Xi'an said they are struggling to find enough food, but Beijing says there's enough. So what's going on?
Yeah, it's really crucial to talk to as many local residents because, they will give you quite a different picture compared to what's been reported in state media. The people from Xi'an that I talked to, some of them, they are receiving food deliveries by the government. Many others, however, don't. And what they are doing is they rely on their neighborhood. For example, with their neighbors, they form chat groups and then share cooking spices, eggs, meat, etc. So they rely on themselves. However, most vulnerable are the people who live quite underprivileged. For example, the migrant workers or people who don't have a refrigerator at home to store food. And they are, of course, most affected. But compared to the lockdown last year in Wuhan, there's no panic and it's relatively orderly.
And what is, Fabian, China doing to prevent the spread of the Omicron variant that's striking the entire planet?
Well, they already have one of the most severe restrictions in place. The borders are de facto closed. Even for long-term residents, it's not easy to get in and outside of the country. And when you do and come back, then immediately at the airport, you're carried to a centralized hotel quarantine, get tested every day, and then stay there for 2 to 3 weeks. And that doesn't make sure that there cannot be any local infections as we see now. But the government has to stick to their recipe of lockdowns and mass testing because the only approved vaccines, the Chinese ones, don't seem to help in terms of protecting from Omicron.
And just to return to the people of Xi'an, is there any end to the lockdown in sight?
Yeah, health experts tell me both from inside China and outside China that probably the infection cluster will be under control maximum by February because the restrictions are really very severe. However, that doesn't mean that there will be another local infection cluster anytime soon.
Okay, DW's Fabian Kretschmer in Beijing. Thanks so much for that insight.